the terms I'm going to put out right now, or you can read articles at Infowars.com and PrisonPlanet.com to prove this to yourself. But Saudi Arabia is the center of Islam. Mecca is based there. Muhammad came from that region that is now Saudi Arabia since 1931. And 79% of Islam is Sunni. And 15% or so of that, 10, 15% of that is Wahhabist. And those are the folks that basically behave like a group of gremlins on PCP. They're the ones that like to saw little kids' heads off and things for no reason at all and eat hearts on television and the rest of it. The craziest tend to rule and lead this group. They make the bad guys in the Road Warrior look like Cub Scout leaders. Let's just say they're scum of the earth. British intelligence over 100 years ago basically financed them to take over the Middle East. You can look that up, Lawrence of Arabia, the whole 9 yards. Because no one can deny they're vicious. They wanted to counter the Ottoman Empire and collapse it, and they did. What was left of it, some of the vestigial parts of it. But the issue I want to raise now is that if you don't know history, you are doomed to repeat it. To quote another British statesman. And I remember it was in the Associated Press and other publications, London Telegraph, about a month ago. Don't kick ISIS off the internet. Let them be on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Let them recruit, because then we could track them better. No, they were given 15,000 heat-seeking missiles. They were allowed to operate because they work for the globalists to destabilize the world. And if ISIS becomes stronger and there's real attacks in the West, they can take American and European liberties in the name of fighting an enemy they created. It doesn't mean they get daily orders from the Pentagon or from Tel Aviv or from Turkey, Istanbul. It means the door's been opened, they've been armed, they've been protected to just run around crazy. They try to take over Kurdistan, take over oil fields. Okay, bomb them. Paint by the numbers, stay where you're supposed to go, ISIS. They've used these groups against our allies in Egypt. You name it. They've taken over Tripoli and Libya and are murdering everybody that isn't a Wahhabist right now. This is the globalist secret army for worldwide destabilization. And then I get up this morning and I go to Infowars.com, and there is mainstream British newspapers with the government saying, let the jihadis, because a bunch of them come from England, come back to England. Then we can understand Al-Qaeda, its new name ISIS. Just like the leader of the 7/7 bombings, it came out on Fox News and even CNN. We interviewed the former Justice Department counterterrorism director, John Loftus, here on the radio about it, after he was on those shows. He said, no, that's British intelligence. No, they run Al-Qaeda right now. They're in the news today saying, let tens of thousands of jihadis come back to England. Don't block their flight. Senator Ted Cruz introduced a bill to not let you come back if you fight for Al-Qaeda, now named ISIS. And I totally agree. The point is, we all have to lose our liberties and have the NSA spy on us, supposedly because of Al-Qaeda, now known as ISIS or IS, Islamic State, when they're saying, oh, don't shut down their Twitter or Facebook. Let them fly around all they want because they work for the West. And Obama's bombing an old Jeep or bombing some artillery. They're not bombing ISIS. They've been funding them for 4 years to bring down Syria. And when they couldn't, they spilt back into Iraq across the border and are now supposed to set up their new Islamic State, taking part of Syria. If they get outside of it, they get bombed. They have a treatment they do for burns and other infections. They'll actually put maggot eggs inside your body where you have gangrene or whatever, and the maggots, the fly larvae, will eat the rotten meat. And if they get outside that area, you just burn them with a laser. That's kind of what this is. They planted a bunch of fly eggs in the Middle East, and they're only allowed to eat the areas that they're supposed to be in. It's like Al-Qaeda's like globalist nanotech or something. And that's what's happening. I mean, here are the headlines. U.S. military launches airstrikes near Iraq's Haditha Dam, where al-Qaeda has taken over for months, known as ISIS. ISIS fighters must be allowed back into the UK, says ex-MI6 chief. Counterterrorism expert Richard Barrett says repentant jihadists. Oh, I'm repentant. Remember, the head of the 7/7 bombings, it turned out, was MI6. Oh, the people blowing themselves up were real, but they were working for MI6. I'm going to say this again. MI6 literally went out and found nutballs, had them go carry out the attack bare minimum, and then protected their leader, what was his name, Rashid Aswat, who's still allowed to live in a mansion and fly around and be free. No, don't let these people in to blow stuff up so you can take my freedom. No, 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 no. Do you understand this? Our governments are funding these crazy people, letting them in to do this. I get censored on Facebook and Twitter all the time. Navy SEALs that exposed Obama on Benghazi had their Facebook shut down. It became national news last year. Do you understand? We have some viral meme that's reaching tens of millions. They just kill it. But ISIS is allowed to operate. I am not allowed to operate to try to expose all this or expose vaccine damage or GMO dangers killing rats. I just want public good. I just want to help society. I'm no angel, but I have an instinct to want to do good, do no harm. I'm not a doctor. I've not taken a Hippocratic oath, but I get it. Look at this. And then we've got links in this article here from the London Observer, where they go through it all. They're announcing, oh, let the jihadis that are eating hearts, sawing off heads, blowing up churches, blowing up non-radical Muslim mosques. I mean, they've killed over 400,000 people, 300,000, Lancet Journal, in Syria, 100,000 in Iraq. That's a conservative number. Let's let them back in, okay? But when I flew back in from Grand Cayman a few months ago, I'd been put on a terror watch list and had to get interrogated. And when the customs officials came out, they said, we're listeners. We can't believe this. We're so ashamed. And she said, you can go. But they said, soon, Mr. Jones, there'll be a robot, a computer in control. We won't be able to let you back in. We're sorry. Okay, so you understand, I won't be able to leave the country or come back soon, but ISIS can. Because this is going on here in the U.S. It turns out ISIS is going back and forth between the Middle East and the U.S. That was in ABC News a few days ago. And they are in the news going, well, we need to let them in, blah, blah, blah. We can track them. What, you can track the spiders you put in our bed? And then when they bite us, you're there selling us anti-spider venom, which is tyranny? Look at this article. Don't bomb ISIS, Syria, Iraq, Iran, or any place else, from Lou Rockwell. I want to get Lou Rockwell on about this week. But look, I get not being for war. I've never supported one military action. And quite frankly, they won't really target ISIS here, so it'll all be fake. But in spirit, I agree with Rand Paul saying, don't stop ISIS, destroy ISIS. This is al-Qaeda. Again, the war on terror is fake, but it doesn't mean there isn't real terrorists. The war on terror helps create these pieces of crap. They have to be dealt with. Now, we've got one of the biggest medical stories ever. This is huge whistleblower level, confirmed, documented info coming up. After consulting top doctors, nutritionists, pharmacists, and others, we have developed what I believe is the ultimate non-GMO, organic Super Male Vitality formula. Super Male Vitality by InfoWars Life is so powerful that I only take half the recommended dose.
I jump out of bed ready to fight these criminals every day. I look forward to waking up and taking my Super Male Vitality.
Visit InfoWarsLife.com today to secure your Super Male Vitality and other powerful products from InfoWars Life.
The government's Department of Homeland Security is buying up loads of ammo. At the same time, they're restricting civilians' rights to own and purchase firearms. Can you put two and two together? Infidel Body Armor can stop every round, including hollow points and .308 sniper rounds, is reasonably priced and fully legal. But for how long? Go to InfidelBodyArmor.com, spelled INFIDEL bodyarmor.com. Infidel Body Armor just won't quit. You've
You've heard about the essential qualities of iodine when it comes to your well-being, and you've read the opinions of top experts regarding this good member of the halogen family. Still, reports indicate that iodine is absent in sufficient amounts from the daily lives of countless people worldwide. Now, our extra-strength new nascent iodine formula is here, Survival Shield X2, leading the way into the next generation of super high-quality nascent iodine. InfoWars Life Survival Shield X2 is derived from 200+ million-year-old salt solutions found more than 7,000 feet below the Earth's surface. The result is a unique nascent iodine that is both concentrated and free of unwanted additives, genetically modified ingredients, and completely vegan. We even pre-screen our Survival Shield X2 iodine for radiation. Pure, clean, and sourced from deep within the Earth, X2 nascent iodine is available exclusively at InfoWars.